Good afternoon, futures traders. Today is Tuesday, October 7th. So I wanted to give you a quick update as to where we are with Praedox Trader's Assistant. We are currently finishing up our final release. We had a project that we were working on that we decided we wanted to include in the first release called the Trend Cycle Wave trade. So this will give us 7 different trade types that Praedox Trader's Assistant will look for to give you an edge in your trading. So, what is the trend cycle wave? So, if you look at price ebbs and flows like a wave, back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes it just hangs out as a flat ocean. A lot of times it does not. It kind of goes back and forth. So you can see we have ebbs and flows of waves. In this case, the webs are down, goes back up. Then we have these periods where it just kind of has a still kind of ocean, and then we get back into our waves again. So what the trend cycle wave does, it looks for these short-term waves and gives the trader an opportunity to take advantage of these short-term movements. Okay. So we've introduced this trend cycle wave trade in Praedox Trader's Assistant that we've been testing for the past week. So let's take a look. Associated with the trend cycle wave is our heat map. And you need to look at the heat map from this perspective. When you are at this top area here in price, that's your short-term direction, right? It's basically saying that, hey, I am in the short-term buying direction. I am in the buying wave. When I'm below in this lower area, that's the short-term direction in the selling wave. So you can see we're in the selling wave. And the heat map will continue to go through these different selling waves and buying waves and alternate between them. There's sometimes they stay in this middle area here, especially when you're consolidating. You can see the colors all go together, which shows you this. But when you're in these selling or buying waves, you'll see these larger areas of dark reds and dark greens. And what the heat map signifies is that as you start to get out of one of these waves, you'll be able to visually represent that we're coming out of the selling wave. We are starting to turn a lighter shade of red. We're coming out of it. We're turning a lighter shade of yellow. We're now in the goldenrod area. We're turning a lighter shade of green. So we're buying. And ultimately, we're in this dark shade of green, which is the buying wave. Okay. Now, not every wave or not every trade is going to appear. Only the ones that are passing our validation. So let's take a look. So we had this earlier TCW for short, trend cycle wave trade this morning, and you can see we were in a period of a buying wave. All right. And we were just staying in this buying wave, and we were starting to see some weakness. So we saw a lighter color, which is signifying that your buying wave is starting to dry up and start to make its splash down. It turned into the goldenrod color, which is the lighter color. It turned into your yellow color, which is the lighter color. The TCW trade appeared, and we had our ATM manage it. And if you stayed in it and trailed your stops, you probably would have been taken out here with your trail. However, if you had the guts to stay in this trade, you could have gotten almost 219 ticks as a result. So let's look at the next one. You can see we had our buying. We were in our buying wave. We kind of really never sat in a buying wave, if you think about it, a selling wave rather. We got into our buying wave right around here. We got out of this area here. You can see that we stayed in this yellowish area for a while, which means you were kind of stuck. And you could see visually that you were stuck in this area here, which is consolidation, right? It's going to occur. Flat ocean. When you start to see these types of areas form, you're in a flat wave, okay? There's no movement, right? There's no ebbs and flows. we started to see the color go back from the bright to this next level color, which is moving up in your heat map. We got to a lighter green color, and then we got into our buying wave. As you can see here, our buying wave was here. And we stayed in this buying wave for a few minutes. We stayed here. We got into a situation where we started to see it weaken. Our color got a little lighter, got lighter again, and then it got into the yellow. Our trend cycle wave signal kicked in, said it passes our rules, and you can see that we would have gotten 76 ticks there. Now, this doesn't work all the time. Let's look at a trade that did not work because they are there and you need to be careful. Okay, here is a TCW pre-market that never got executed because 3 bars went by and our limit order wasn't there. This TCW failed.
Order
Okay,
submitted.
it failed. So they are going to fail, especially when you see areas like this. Look at this area here. When you have short dark reds and short dark yellows, and you're starting to see the colors of the rainbow here, your best bet is to just disable that trade. Okay? Because what you're looking for are the ebbs and flows of the ocean of price, right? When you're back in these areas here where you're seeing larger blocks of dark reds and dark greens, that's where you want to take advantage of using the trend cycle wave. So anyway, that's where we've been. We've been testing it. We have a trend cycle wave here forming potentially on the short side. You can see here we were in this selling wave here. We crept back up into this short-term buying wave, and now we cross back into the light yellow zone here, which signifies price is weakening, and we are looking for a trend cycle wave to go short. Now, if 3 bars go by without this limit order executing, we will cancel the limit order and move forward. Okay, so that's a trade type that we've added, the trend cycle wave. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, shoot me a message on Discord, send me an email. Happy to respond. We're going to continue to test it for the remainder of the week to ensure that the trend cycle wave works the way we have it planned before our go live. Have a great day, and we will see you soon. So as you saw from our explanation video, we got a TCW that we got in. So let's see how this plays out. We also have a breakout here forming. So we had our trend cycle wave, put our limit order here. So let's see how this trade plays out.
Target filled.
Okay, you can see
Stop
now we
filled.
hit our break even and our target. So we had a quick, successful trend cycle wave. So again, we were in our selling wave. We were actually in our buying wave. We looked to take advantage of this next drop down into the selling wave that came right here, placed our order here, took a little heat, and then ultimately hit into our selling wave. So we went from the buying wave into
Order
the selling
filled.
wave. So with that said, I will now call it. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.